This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English. Episode number 266, baby. Oh yeah. And we are continuing our podcasts with other podcasters, YouTubers, etc. And today we have an absolute blinder of a podcast. So a fantastic podcast with Fabio from the fantastic site and project Stolaroid, which combines stories and pictures. Okay, he will explain it much better than me in the podcast, so I'm not going to say too much, but you know how much I love stories. So we have someone else that loves stories, so it's just a winning combination, let's say. We actually play one of Fabio's stories from his podcast. He has a podcast too. Go and check it out. And then we kind of analyze the story, and there are lots of other R&R stories that are shared. In fact, this episode is so good, I was going to keep it as a normal R&R episode, let's say, but I couldn't wait to publish it anymore, so here it is. But before we start, speaking of stories, remember that the Rock and Roll English family and I are still selling our ebook. All of money is going to Ukraine. If you follow Rock and Roll English on Instagram and Facebook, you will see where the money has actually gone. The organisation Grace Tea sent us some pictures of all of the food that they have bought for people in Ukraine. So please support us. Well, support us to support the people in Ukraine, if that makes sense. It's only €10 and it's full of fantastic R&R stories, R&R vocab, R&R grammar. It's bloody brilliant. It's only €10 and the money goes to helping people, so it's just a win-win situation. Unfortunately, as always, there's a problem with the website, so to buy it, go to my Instagram page and the link is there, okay? And also the Facebook page. You can buy the book directly there. So that's enough of me talking. Here is the absolutely blinding podcast with Fabio. I will talk to you all again at the end. Happy listening. So, hello, Fabio. Oh, I'm a bit loud. So, hello, Fabio, and welcome to Rock and Roll English.
Hello, Martin. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. You are also, I actually just yesterday did a podcast with someone, and I mentioned how this other person is someone I have been keeping an eye on, and you are that one of those people. Mm-hmm. You grabbed my attention because, well, number one, you talk about stories, which is something I love. But so just for people that maybe don't know you, tell us about what you do.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people don't know me. I am an English teacher. I come from Italy, and I teach through stories, through personal stories, because I'm passionate about storytelling. I'm passionate about photography, and I do that with photos, basically. So I believe in that saying that says that every picture tells a story. So I think that everyone has got a story behind one of their own pictures.
Absolutely, yes, I totally agree. In fact, I've actually done lessons exactly about this when I've got people to bring in pictures because, yes, as you said, every picture tells a story. And how you mentioned about real life stories as well, because obviously if you have a picture, the story behind it is obviously going to be, certainly if you've taken the picture, a real life story, which as well is something that we love here on Rock and Roll English. And just I always find it almost difficult to articulate and tell people why I love stories. I try my best. I steal things from other people to try and sound intelligent. One of my favourites is that real life stories create community because they show us that our lives are much more similar than they are different. But tell us why you love real life stories.
I think I got into storytelling when I first heard of the moth. I don't know if you know what it is. The moth is basically an associate.
Remember, you're talking to a very not cultured person here. Okay, the lowest of the low of society. That's me.
Okay, so the Moth is basically an organization, a storytelling organization based in the US. Okay. They organize storytelling contests, and you can find all these stories and videos on YouTube. Right. And these stories are told live without notes by the storyteller, and they're all true. So you can't go on stage without a true story, and you have to tell your own story. So I started listening to these stories, and they made me think. Okay, they made me think, and they made me think about my own stories, because I then I think I have a lot of stories like you, like anyone else, and also I think photography had an influence, because I love traveling, and when I traveled 6 months in Southeast Asia, which it's a place, it's that part of the world where it's different from the Western world that I was used to.
Absolutely. When I went to Thailand, that's when I've got lots of stories to tell about. I think I could write a book about my time there, and I was only there for 1 month.
Okay. So I started taking pictures of people in the streets. I got into street photography I'm not a reporter or anything, but I started getting some interest in the people's lives in the street, because it was very much different from Italian people.
Of course, but do you not get any strange looks taking pictures of people in the street? How does that work? I would be worried about getting arrested.
Well, not arrested, but I'm still, I was more comfortable doing that in Thailand because nobody knew me, and I looked like a stranger anyway. Yeah. But here in Italy, I don't feel comfortable doing that. So
I can imagine.
Yeah, you can imagine, because you know this.
Well, I think anywhere really. I'm in England now, and if I started taking pictures of people on the street, I'm not sure what the reaction would be.
It's there are different ways of going about that, but one way is to ask. You can say, "Can I just?"
Yeah.
But then you lose the moment.
Of course.
Or you can just take it. You can just pretend you're doing something else and take a picture and then post it on Instagram.
Yeah. Speaking of stories, I have to share this actually. When I was on holiday with my friends, the first holiday I ever had, I was 18, and there was, well, the old cameras, and you had to use up all of the I can't even remember what they're called now, the disposable ones that you take and you throw away, and then you had to use up all of the pictures, because in 2 weeks there I hadn't taken any pictures, and on the last day I was taking lots. And so I was just sort of just going around clicking, and then kind of accidentally, kind of not, there was a woman who was sunbathing topless, and in my clicking she happened to be there, and she got really angry and said, "Did you take a picture of me?" And I was like, no.
Of course not.
Because as well, it's not even it wasn't even a digital one where you can say, "Look, I'll delete it," and then had to get it developed. But
and did you do it?
Yeah, got it developed. Yeah, I've now got the picture above my bed.
Okay.
No, I haven't. I think I just threw it away. It wasn't a particularly great picture, but it was just popped into my mind when you were talking about taking pictures of people.
Yeah, street photographers, I think some of them might risk their lives.
Right. Okay. Wow.
Well, no, I don't know, but I know that you don't want to get punched in the face for a picture.
For any reason. Really.
For any reason.
For any reason. Yeah. So now you've combined these then, which I think is absolutely brilliant, and especially teaching through stories. I think I read once as well that at Harvard University. They teach through stories. So we are doing something right, Fabio. Okay.
Thank God. For once.
You have a story for us today. Okay. So I've listened to one of your podcasts, which was a brilliant story. I totally recommend people to go and listen to it, called Susie, a very moving story. But today we've got another one. Called Gift Card, a story about idiots. Now, this obviously grabbed my attention immediately. So I thought we would listen to this one, if that's okay, yeah?
For sure, yeah.
Okay, so for all of the listeners, get ready. It's story time. And Fabio is also very good at putting in sound effects, much better than me. So he creates a really nice sort of mood for the story as well. So put your seatbelts on. Let's get ready for story time.
It's the 19th of December 2021. It's Sunday morning. I'm sitting in my car and I'm driving to a nearby town, to one of the biggest shopping malls in Europe. My girlfriend Aloha is sitting next to me, and all I'm thinking about is that today it's gonna be hell. Today, that shopping center will be the most crowded place in Italy because it's the last weekend before Christmas, so people will be flooding in to get their last-minute Christmas presents. And I can't stand Christmas presents. I can't stand shopping malls, and I can't stand people who go shopping for Christmas presents in shopping malls. So I probably can't stand you either. There's only one reason why I'm going there today. I'm going there because I have a €100 gift card. It's a gift card that I can only use in that shopping mall. If I didn't have this gift card, I would never go to this place, especially on this day. I already know how I'm going to spend it. I'm gonna buy an expensive pair of shoes. Expensive to me means anything that costs more than €40. I am a stingy minimalist who always buys cheap shoes. The problem is that cheap shoes wear out very quickly. So right now, all the ones that I have look like they've been chewed on by a dog. So today I have a mission. I have to find some good quality shoes, pull out my €100 gift card, buy them, and get out of that mall as quickly as possible. I drive into the huge parking lot and I'm already trapped in traffic. There are hundreds of shoppers trying to park their cars. I look at them and think, look at those idiots coming to this place on a Sunday morning to buy stuff. But then I'm thinking, well, I'm here with them doing the exact same thing. I'm actually one of them. But then I'm thinking, wait a minute, no, I'm not. I'm here only because I have a gift card that I can only use in this place. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. And I don't think all these people have got a gift card. So they're the idiots, not me. I park my Toyota Yaris and walk with Aloha to the entrance. Coffee? I say. Absolutely yes, says Aloha. We get into the mall and it seems that the whole of Italy is here. It's crazy. There are dozens of people standing in a queue to get a coffee. It looks like everyone has got the same ideas today, which is a rare thing in this country. Aloha and I join the queue, and after literally 5 seconds I go, come on, this is ridiculous. This queue is too long. And she says, listen, get comfortable with this. We knew it was going to be like this today, so relax. But I don't want to relax. I want to punch someone in the face. I'm annoyed and I want to go home. But I can't until I spend my gift card. We get our coffee and start looking for a pair of shoes. I wouldn't like to be in Aloha's position right now. I'm a very indecisive and picky guy when I'm buying clothes. So poor Aloha will have to put up with a man who will be staring at shoes while absently stroking his beard, only to say, no, fuck them, I don't like them, let's get out. And that's exactly what happens. We visit the first store and I can't find anything that I like. We walk into another one, but they only sell leather shoes and I don't buy leather. We then go to another shop where I find some very cool shoes. but they cost 40 euros and I'm not here for budget shoes today. After an hour, I'm exhausted and I want to die. We then go to a Geox store. Geox is a very good Italian brand of shoes. It's my last chance. We get in, I find a pair, it looks sturdy, the stitching is good and they fit perfectly. Great. They don't look super nice, but I don't care anymore. I want to get out of here. I asked the girl who's helping me if she thinks these shoes will last for at least 5 years. As soon as these words came out of my mouth, I realized what a stupid question that was. She goes, well, it depends, but they're strong. Strong shoes, yes, that's exactly what I'm here for. I'll buy them. I go to the counter, they cost 135 euros. Fine, I'll add 35 euros, not a problem. I regret asking that stupid question to the shop assistant because she uses it as a perfect excuse to sell me a spray can that she says will help me keep my shoes in good condition so they can last for 5 years. I don't believe her, but I so don't care anymore about my life that right now you could sell me anything. The spray can is 15 euros. I pay 150 euros and get out. Mission accomplished. I then say to Aloha, wow, I've just spent 150 euros on a pair of shoes. Who would have thought? And Aloha goes, yeah, but actually you've only spent 50 out of your own pocket. And that's when I realize what an imbecile I am. Because I forgot to use the fucking gift card. On Sunday, 19th December 2021, I thought I was in a shopping mall full of idiots. I was wrong. I was the only idiot in that place. Thank you.
Fantastic. I almost wanted it just to carry on with the music. Like, you create the mood. Absolutely brilliant. But what a story as well. There's so much to dissect here. I was making notes as we were listening to it. Okay. So let's start from the beginning. You can't stand presents. I am totally with you. I agreed with so many things you said there. What's the point in them, hey?
Presents, especially at Christmas time. Like, it's Christmas, so we have to buy presents. I see that as an excuse to support, consumerism, capitalism, and all these things. But, I'm against presents because you buy a present when you feel like you want to buy a present, not because it's Christmas.
And because social pressure forces you to buy one. No, I'm exactly the same. And I actually remember in the past, I especially think in England, it's totally crazy. Like in Italy, obviously, Christmas is big, but in England, I think maybe because of the strong American influence, it's just it's to a different level. And I remember in the past buying things for people thinking like, they probably won't even like this, but I just need to have something. So I'm going to buy this. So I'm buying something I know that they more or less won't even like. They're doing the same for me. And I just think, well, I'll just buy something for me and you buy something for you and we'll just forget about this.
Yeah. And also, worst of all, when if you decide not to buy presents, but then, your friends and your family members, they give you a present and then you feel like, I don't have anything to give you. So
there's just so many problems with presents. So the best way is just to eliminate it. And luckily, my wife, Mrs. R&R, feels the same way. So we don't do any presents.
Well,
like Christmas, birthdays, nothing.
You're very lucky then, because Aloha is the complete opposite.
Right, okay.
So in her family, everyone buys presents for everybody.
Right,
and,
no, that's not the case in my family. In fact, our daughter recently turned 1, and then we realised we hadn't even bought her a present, and we were like, I think we're the worst parents in the world.
Well, no, I think you're the best parents in the world, because then I think it's about also education. You raise a child as a consumer. If you start buying presents for every single occasion.
I agree. Although I think it's easy to explain that when she's 1. When she's 10, I'm not sure that it will be so easy to tell her that we haven't got her a birthday present, because we're against consumerism. But so some other stuff. Yeah, the gift cards as well. Again, when people get you a gift card, it puts pressure on you, doesn't it? Because you have to spend it. And like you said, you went to that. I would actually say shopping centre, because I obviously British. We stay away from mall. I have difficulty even saying that word. Mall. Is it mall? I can't say
Mall.
it. Right. Okay.
I don't know.
I'll let you say that one. But yeah, it forces you to go there. And again, I've been in the situation. Someone's giving me a voucher, and I'm in a shop, and I'm forced to spend it. There's nothing I really want in the shop, and I end up buying something I don't really want. But just thinking, I have to spend this voucher. Again, it's the downside of vouchers.
Or you can recycle it and use it as a present for someone else.
That happens a lot in England as well. Lots of, mainly like family members do that and say, like, oh, if I say, for example, I need to buy something from this shop, they say, oh, I've got a voucher. Like, why don't you just give me the money? That happens quite a lot as well. And even when you buy a voucher, it puts pressure on you, because you think that now they will know exactly how much I've spent. If you buy just a present, they don't know how much that cost. But if you buy a gift card, then they do know. And so it's a problem.
Don't buy one. Don't buy presents. Don't buy gift cards. Just, I don't know, just be kind.
Exactly. That's what I always say to Mrs. R&R. And what else do I have here on my list? Yeah, I totally agree with you. Expensive means over 40 euros. I mean, expensive for me is, I still think anything over 20 I have to think about. It's like a big decision in my life to spend 20 euros on myself. That is, like, I would happily will spend money for like things for my daughter, but when it's just something for me, like a t-shirt or a jumper, and it's more than 20, I think, like, oh, this is a big decision. I'm gonna have to like go home and think about this. It's not so easy.
Yeah. What's the last thing that you bought?
Honestly, for myself, the last time I bought any item of clothing, I've honestly got no idea. The last time my wife, in fact, the only time where she talked about buying stuff is clothes for me, because very much like you, not just like shoes and stuff, but all of my clothes are falling apart, and so I honestly think it might be even years since the last time I bought anything. Actually, I think I bought a pair of trainers about 2 years ago, and they're still going strong. So yeah. So
obviously you didn't pay 20 euros for those.
No, for that, those I did. I think I paid about 50. A pair of Adidas. I only wear Adidas trainers as well. This is like when I go to a shop. If I'm buying trainers, I'm only buying Adidas ones. I kind of feel like Adidas is my wife, and I would never cheat and betray my wife and buy like Nike trainers or Puma trainers or anything like that. I'm a very loyal person.
Cool.
But you bought the spray for the shoes as well. I mean, that's
seriously,
that's unbelievable. The spray for the shoes. It's just, I think there is some sort of logic behind it. Once you've already spent a lot of money, when they try and sell you these other things that cost not so much money, in your mind you're like, oh well, it's only a little bit more, I'll buy it. But 15 euros for some spray for the shoes. We say they saw you coming. You had idiot written on your head.
Exactly. Yeah. And in my head I was going, say no, because you're not gonna need this. Okay, yes, I said, like Homer Simpson, the same situation. Say no, yes. And that was it.
Yeah. And so did you use the gift card in the end another time?
Yeah.
How did it finish?
I spent 100 euros on food, on those big baskets that we buy in Italy. I don't know if you buy them in England as well for Christmas, full of cheese and lots of food. and we bought 3 of those. So we bought presents with that.
Right, and then a pair of shoes for €135. Wow. Well, there are lots more other great stories on Fabio's website. So tell people where they can find out more about you, Fabio.
Okay, they can go to my website, Stolaroid.com. There's a podcast there, and there's a free guide that I have for to help you self-practice, so you can practice speaking and writing by using your own photos, because I think there's so many things that you can do with your own pictures. And and I'm on Instagram as well, Fabio Stolaroid. That's where you can find me. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll put links to all of this in the show notes. So thanks for coming on and sharing a great story with us, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Martin. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Also for us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was me and Fabio talking about stories, analysing stories. Stories are just bloody brilliant, aren't they? Don't forget to buy the Rock and Roll English Family ebook. Remember, go to my Instagram or Facebook page to do that. Check out Fabio as well. All of the notes and links to his stuff will be on the website, rockandrollenglish.com/episode 266. I will see you all again very soon, people. But in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.